Stop scrolling and listen closely, because what you're about to hear can completely change your financial future and your life forever. This audiobook is not just another motivational talk, it's a step-by-step guide to mastering your money mindset and taking control of your wealth every single day. In the next few hours, you'll discover 10 life-changing chapters that cover transforming your mindset to attract abundance, developing daily habits that build financial success, eliminating self-doubt that blocks opportunities, creating multiple income streams, investing wisely, controlling spending, expanding financial knowledge, building resilience, visualizing your financial goals, and taking bold action daily to achieve independence. Every chapter is packed with practical advice, real-life examples, and actionable steps you can implement immediately. Hit subscribe now and join thousands of others who are leveling up their lives with daily audiobooks. Absolutely no ads, just pure value from start to finish. Chapter 1. Transform your mindset to attract wealth and abundance. The moment a belief changes, everything changes. Your inner voice shapes how you spend your time, where you place your energy, and how you respond when life pushes back. That voice decides whether money is a threat, a tool, or a natural consequence of effort. If money feels impossible or dirty or reserved for other people, then actions follow that story. Transforming your money life begins with an honest and direct confrontation of what you think about money right now. This is not about wishful thinking or empty slogans. This is about identifying the specific thoughts that direct your behaviors and replacing them with clear, disciplined practices that consistently produce different results. Start by mapping your money story with a calm exactness. For 3 days, carry a small notebook or use a notes app and record every thought and feeling that arises around money. When a bill arrives, when a purchase tempts you, when you hear someone announce a pay raise, notice the words that spring up in your mind. Write down the exact phrase you think. Be precise. When a purchase is made, note the justification used. When a payment is delayed, notice the inner dialogue. This is not judgmental. This is intelligence gathering. The collection itself reveals patterns that are otherwise invisible. People who believe they are always unlucky with money will find a steady stream of defeatist phrases. People who fear judgment will find defensive justifications. Those phrases are the wiring. They can be rewired. After gathering the raw material, create a belief audit. Choose 5 recurring thoughts and challenge them one by one. For each thought, ask 3 questions. Is this thought fully true? What evidence exists that contradicts it? What useful alternative thought would support the actions that lead to improved results? Replace each limiting thought with a clear, actionable belief. For example, change "I never have enough" to "I can plan and grow my resources one deliberate step at a time." That new thought is not magic. It creates a different posture. It nudges decisions toward saving, learning, and taking small, controlled risks. Discipline is the muscle that turns new beliefs into reality. Design a daily ritual that anchors you before distraction and noise arrive. The ritual must be short, repeatable, and tied to a visible result. It might be 30 minutes of financial focus every morning, where you review balances, pay bills, and scan opportunities. It might be a nightly 5-minute money review where you log outflows, plan tomorrow's spending, and confirm your transfers to savings or investments. The smallest consistent ritual beats occasional grand efforts. Make the ritual automatic by attaching it to an existing habit. After brushing your teeth, open your finance app. After finishing your morning coffee, complete that 30-minute focus. Consistency wears down resistance. Over weeks, the ritual becomes identity. Create simple structures that protect attention and money. Automate savings the day pay arrives. Use separate accounts for bills, emergency savings, and goals. Set spending limits and enforce them with a short pause rule. Wait 24 hours before non-essential purchases over a set amount. That pause defeats impulse decisions and reveals what truly matters. Use calendar blocks for income-building work and learning. If income growth feels vague, assign specific projects to exact calendar slots. When time is accounted for, it becomes work instead of wishful thinking. Actionable practice matters more than theory. Choose 3 practical actions to complete within the next 30 days. Make them measurable and time-bound. Examples: open an emergency account and transfer 1 month of expenses into it within 14 days. Enroll in a single online course that teaches a marketable skill and complete it in 30 days. Reach out to one potential client or employer with a clear offer this week. Each completed action builds credibility with yourself. Confidence grows not from pep talks, but from the ledger of small wins. Skill building is the fastest way to change financial potential. Identify one marketable skill you can reasonably develop and sell within 3 months. Break the skill into weekly milestones. Focus on outcomes that other people will pay for. Learn by doing, not by consuming endless theory. Building a simple portfolio of work or case studies, even if it begins with free or low-cost projects, is more persuasive than certificates. Price the first offers modestly and deliver exceptional value. Request testimonials and use them to raise prices. This sequence creates momentum. Money flows to people who solve real problems consistently and visibly. Position yourself as a problem solver. Describe the problem clearly, the solution briefly, and the measurable benefit. That clarity makes negotiation simple and effective. When asking for higher pay or pitching a client, focus on outcomes, not on feelings. Present a short list of successes, demonstrate the clear return on investment, and ask for a specific number. If the number is refused, propose a short trial project with measurable objectives. The trial reduces perceived risk and turns a negotiation into a structured experiment. Failure and setbacks will happen. Stoic resilience turns setbacks into information. When a plan fails, record what happened, what was under your control and what was not. Extract at least one lesson and design one adjustment. Do not allow a single failure to erase months of disciplined behavior. The aim is continuous improvement, not perfection. A ledger attempts plus incremental adjustments beats sporadic perfect attempts that never happen. Create visible metrics and celebrate lean wins. Track net worth, month-to-month income sources, and key habits like saving rate and learning hours. Use simple charts or a spreadsheet. The sight of progress, even if small, changes motivation and attention. Celebrate with small non-financial rewards, like a meaningful break or a short experience that does not undermine progress. Recognition of effort sustains momentum more than occasional large celebrations that reset behavior. Guard against common money traps. Social comparison drains resources and attention. Reduce exposure to triggers that encourage unnecessary spending. Unfollow accounts that create envy and follow creators who share practical skills and disciplined habits. Avoid lifestyle inflation by automating increases in savings whenever income rises. When a raise arrives, split it into at least 3 portions. 1 for increased cost of living, 1 for savings, and 1 for investment or skill development. That method keeps life improving while securing the future. Invest in basic financial literacy. Learn the difference between liability and asset. The concept of compounding and the basics of diversified investing. These are not complex ideas, but they are transformative when applied. Start small with index funds or low-cost vehicles that match a long-term plan. Focus on consistency and low fees. Avoid chasing the hottest short-term trends. Build a plan that allows for volatility and prevents panic selling. The knowledge reduces fear and creates patience. Money mindset is built in community, not isolation. Seek people who are further along and who speak plainly. Listen to mentors who model discipline, not just wealth. Join a small group that focuses on accountability for goals and habit tracking. Share your 30-day commitments with them and report back weekly. Accountability shrinks the gap between intention and action. A final practice is to schedule regular reflection sessions. Monthly reviews of finances, mindset, and actions. Create a loop of feedback and course correction. Ask 3 questions each month. What went well? What could be improved? What is the next measurable step? Make the answers short and actionable. Execute the next step immediately and record completion. Action is the bridge between reflection and change. The shift in mindset is not a single event. It is the accumulation of thousands of small disciplined choices. It is the quiet commitment to show up to the small rituals, to challenge the automatic thoughts, and to treat money as a neutral tool for effecting meaningful outcomes. Change begins with paying attention and continues with repeating simple practices that create visible results. Make the first deliberate choice today. Pick one limiting thought and swap it for a constructive belief. Design one small habit you can follow daily. Arrange one measurable action for the next 7 days. Those 3 decisions will begin to produce different results, and over weeks and months the change will be unmistakable. The work is steady, the rewards compound, and the person developing through this process becomes the instrument of their own financial life. Chapter 2. Develop daily habits that build lasting financial success. Habits define outcomes more than talent, luck, or education. Every small choice compounds into long-term results. If financial success feels out of reach, it is rarely because of circumstance and almost always because of patterns repeated day after day. Developing daily habits is the bridge between intention and reality. The core principle is that consistent, disciplined actions produce results that sporadic bursts of energy never can. Money is neutral. It rewards predictable skill applied over time. Therefore, creating routines that reinforce intelligent financial behavior transforms both your wealth and your confidence in ways that are visible and measurable. Start by analyzing your current routines with honesty. Track 3 days of all activities that impact money directly and indirectly. This includes every purchase, every bill, every hour spent learning or working, and even unconscious scrolling that distracts from productive work. Note patterns where impulses override planned actions and where opportunities are ignored. This observation is critical because no habit can be improved unless it is fully visible. Most people think they are disciplined, but a detailed log often exposes repeated inconsistencies. Once patterns are understood, design one high-impact habit to implement immediately. For example, a practice that guarantees improvement is the morning financial check. Spend 15 minutes reviewing current balances, reviewing upcoming obligations, and identifying one opportunity to increase income or reduce expense. This is not a superficial review, but a focused session where clarity becomes a habit. One real-life example is a freelance designer who started this habit and discovered that small unpaid subscriptions were draining hundreds of dollars per month. Once noticed and cancelled, the freed resources were redirected into a high-interest savings account. Within 6 months, this small habit had contributed to over $1,000 in savings and enabled an unexpected investment opportunity. Habits are reinforced by environment. Arrange visible cues that support financial priorities. Place a notepad on your desk to capture spending impulses. Leave reminders of weekly savings targets where they can be seen, and set automated alerts for account balances. Physical and digital nudges reduce the cognitive effort needed to act consistently. The less mental energy required to remember, the easier the habit becomes. Over time, these cues become invisible scaffolds, supporting decisions without conscious effort. Another principle is to anchor new financial habits to existing routines. This is called habit stacking. For example, if you already exercise every morning, follow your workout with a 10-minute session to log all spending from the previous day. If you drink coffee every morning, review your budget while drinking it. Linking new behaviors to established routines eliminates the resistance often felt when starting a new habit. Small frictionless adjustments create a cumulative advantage that accelerates financial growth. Accountability amplifies habit effectiveness. Sharing intentions with someone who checks progress reduces procrastination. Even if the accountability partner is digital or a simple habit tracking app, reporting consistently transforms vague intentions into measurable actions. One entrepreneur documented daily habit completion in a spreadsheet visible to her mentor and friends. The simple act of public reporting increased focus, reduced unnecessary spending, and helped her negotiate higher value contracts because she was operating from a mindset of structured consistency. In addition to financial check-ins, cultivating a habit of skill development compounds returns. Dedicate 30 minutes daily to learn something marketable or relevant to wealth creation. This might include improving negotiation skills, understanding investments, or learning a new software that enhances productivity. Small daily increments produce mastery far faster than sporadic cramming sessions. A practical example is a young professional who spent 30 minutes daily learning basic coding. Within 4 months, she developed a tool that automated part of her work process, saving her company time and earning her a significant bonus. That single habit directly influenced her income while enhancing her confidence in her market value. Reflection is another habit that separates long-term success from stagnation. At the end of each week, spend 15 minutes reviewing what actions produced results and what drained resources or time. Identify one adjustment for the following week. Reflection is not self-criticism, it is intelligence applied to behavior. One small adjustment each week compounds over months into substantial improvements. A business owner used this habit to reduce unnecessary operational costs. Over a year, she saved the equivalent of 1 month's revenue simply by consistently identifying inefficiencies. Eliminate low-value habits that drain energy and resources. Small repeated behaviors, like daily impulsive purchases, mindless scrolling through social media, or ignoring emails from clients, can silently erode financial potential. Replace them with habits that advance goals. For example, a daily 5-minute pause before any non-essential expenditure creates mindfulness and prevents repeated mistakes. One professional used this pause to avoid spending on coffees, snacks, and convenience purchases. The result over 12 months was a savings of nearly $2,000 redirected toward investments in his personal business growth. Visualization is also a practice that strengthens new habits. Before starting the financial check-in or skill-building session, take a moment to imagine the desired outcome. Visualize accounts growing, debts decreasing, or a skill being mastered and sold. Mental rehearsal prepares the mind for consistent action and primes focus. A software engineer who practiced brief visualization before each learning session reported greater concentration and faster retention, turning small daily habits into noticeable progress in both skill and income. Consistency is more valuable than intensity. Small sustainable habits executed daily outperform sporadic marathon efforts. Avoid setting habits so large that failure is inevitable. It is better to commit to 10 minutes a day consistently than to attempt 2 hours once a week and burn out. The human mind rewards repetition and visible progress. Even tiny wins, when repeated without exception, produce momentum that compounds in both confidence and tangible results. Tracking progress visually strengthens commitment. Simple charts or checklists provide evidence that actions are producing results. Seeing habits completed reinforces identity and motivates continuation. One freelancer kept a visible calendar with colored stickers representing completed financial actions. Each sticker reinforced capability and progress. The visual feedback loop became a source of motivation that replaced reliance on willpower alone. Integration of habits into lifestyle prevents regression. Treat habits as non-negotiable components of daily life rather than optional tasks. Incorporate financial rituals into the start and end of day routines. Link skill development to existing work patterns, and embed reflection as a weekly commitment. Over time, these practices cease to feel like chores and become part of a structured life that naturally produces financial improvement. Finally, patience and self-forgiveness are essential. Habits take time to solidify. Occasional lapses are not failure if one returns immediately to practice. The goal is not perfection, but a trajectory of improvement. The discipline cultivated through daily habits extends beyond finances. It strengthens character, decision-making, and the ability to respond to life's challenges with calm focus and deliberate action. Habits are the engines of financial transformation. Each small action repeated daily builds momentum, skill, and confidence. Implementing one focused practice, reflecting consistently, and stacking small improvements into an integrated routine produces results that multiply over time. Habits convert intention into measurable success and create a life where financial growth becomes inevitable, sustainable, and deeply empowering. By choosing actions with care, documenting progress, eliminating distractions, and reinforcing behaviors through visualization and accountability, financial success ceases to be distant and becomes a natural consequence of disciplined living. Chapter 3. Eliminate self-doubt that blocks money opportunities. Self-doubt is the silent barrier that quietly erodes potential. It is not always loud or dramatic, but it operates in subtle ways, shaping every decision and limiting action before it even begins. Opportunities appear daily, yet the mind whispers reasons not to act, reasons to wait, reasons to settle. These thoughts are not truth. They are habits of the mind conditioned by past experiences, fear, or social expectations. Recognizing self-doubt requires attention and honesty. When an idea for earning, investing, or negotiating arises, note the internal response. Is there hesitation? Are there automatic justifications for inaction? That awareness is the first step toward reclaiming control. Eliminating self-doubt begins with precise observation. Over several days, track situations where hesitation arises. Record the context, the internal dialogue, and the resulting behavior. Notice patterns. Self-doubt often shows up when risks are uncertain, when stakes feel high, or when comparison to others triggers inadequacy. Understanding the triggers makes them manageable. Once identified, these mental patterns can be reframed into actionable strategies rather than automatic roadblocks. Challenge thoughts immediately. For each instance of doubt, ask, what is the evidence that this belief is true? What is the evidence that it is false? What is the evidence that it is false? What is a rational step I can take regardless of uncertainty? This exercise transforms vague fear into concrete action. Doubt loses power when confronted with clarity and specific steps. It is replaced by a method for engagement instead of avoidance. One powerful practice is the next step principle. When doubt arises, Identify the single next action that moves toward the goal, however small. For example, if a hesitation prevents applying for a high-paying client project, the next step might be drafting a brief outline of the proposal rather than worrying about the final pitch. The act of completing a tangible next step reduces mental resistance and creates momentum. Action generates confidence, and confidence weakens self-doubt. Real-life application illustrates this clearly. A young consultant feared asking for higher pay because of an internal voice insisting they were not qualified. Instead of confronting the entire negotiation at once, they committed to one next step: researching industry rates and documenting past achievements. This small action reframed perception from fear to preparation. When it was time to negotiate, the consultant had evidence and clarity, transforming hesitation into deliberate confidence. The result was a successful contract with a significant increase in income, demonstrating that confronting self-doubt methodically yields measurable rewards. Self-doubt is often amplified by comparison. Observing peers achieving milestones can trigger feelings of inadequacy. To counter this, implement the habit of focusing on personal metrics and progress. Track growth using measurable indicators like savings rate, revenue generated, or skills acquired. Viewing progress objectively diminishes the emotional impact of comparison and reinforces the belief that action produces results, independent of external validation. Language matters. Replace vague, fearful thoughts with precise affirmations of capability and action. Instead of thinking I might fail, replace it with I will complete this task to the best of my ability and learn from the outcome. This linguistic shift subtly alters neural pathways and encourages proactive behavior. The mind responds to direction and certainty. Repeatedly stating actionable affirmations conditions behavior toward engagement rather than avoidance. Visualization strengthens the eradication of doubt. Before approaching a financial opportunity, spend a few minutes imagining the scenario executed successfully. Picture sending the proposal, making the investment, or presenting a service. Visualize potential challenges handled competently. The brain cannot differentiate between detailed mental rehearsal and experience. Repetition of success scenarios builds confidence and reduces hesitation when action is required. Set measurable mini-goals to combat internal resistance. Breaking large objectives into smaller, attainable targets converts abstract fear into manageable steps. For instance, if building a client base seems overwhelming, aim to reach out to one new potential client daily rather than focusing on the entire strategy. Success at each micro level reinforces ability and diminishes doubt. Momentum builds confidence, which in turn replaces self-sabotaging thoughts. Environment influences belief systems. Surround yourself with people who exemplify competence, resilience, and deliberate action. Observing peers or mentors who navigate challenges with discipline normalizes proactive behavior and diminishes internal fear. Avoid environments where hesitation and negativity dominate. Peer influence operates subtly but powerfully, shaping internal narratives about capability and worthiness. Documentation is a tool for accountability. Maintain a record of doubts encountered, actions taken, and results achieved. Over time, reviewing this log reveals patterns of success despite initial hesitation, creating tangible evidence that doubt is often unfounded. One entrepreneur recorded every moment of doubt regarding outreach to potential clients and paired each with the action taken and outcome. Reviewing the log 6 months later revealed a consistent pattern of positive results, strengthening confidence and reinforcing the habit of action over fear. Adopt a routine of reflection at the end of each day. Identify moments where doubt arose, note the response, and determine one improvement for tomorrow. This practice converts self-observation into structured development, rather than passive worry. Over weeks, reflection refines decision-making and builds mental resilience against hesitation. The mind gradually shifts from automatic doubt to conscious evaluation and decisive action. Practice decisiveness in low-stakes situations to strengthen neural pathways for high-stakes decision-making. Completing small financial actions like transferring savings, responding promptly to inquiries, or adjusting budgets without delay trains the brain to act rather than stall. Cumulative experience in small wins enhances confidence and reduces internal resistance when larger opportunities appear. Financial education reduces uncertainty-driven doubt. Learning principles of budgeting, investment, and negotiation equips the mind with tools to evaluate situations rationally. Knowledge replaces fear with preparation, making decisions easier and outcomes more predictable. A novice investor who studied basic investment principles before allocating even a small sum reduced hesitation significantly and acted decisively, resulting in early positive returns. Self-doubt often thrives in isolation. Regularly discussing financial goals and challenges with mentors or peers creates external perspective. A brief consultation or feedback session can illuminate blind spots and normalize the uncertainty inherent in financial growth. Guidance converts doubt into informed assessment and deliberate action, preventing paralysis caused by imagined risk. Celebrate decisive actions, not outcomes alone. Confidence grows when steps are completed, regardless of immediate results. Recognition of effort reinforces neural pathways associated with proactive behavior, reducing the likelihood of future hesitation. One freelancer celebrated completing every proposal submitted, regardless of client response. Over months, the habit of action transformed internal narratives from fear to capability, and the cumulative effect increased income opportunities significantly. Gradually, repeated engagement with opportunities despite internal hesitation rewires belief structures. Self-doubt weakens when confronted regularly with evidence of capability and preparation. Actions compound into results, and results reinforce confidence. Financial opportunities that once seemed intimidating become navigable, and the mind becomes conditioned to evaluate risk rationally rather than emotionally. Eliminating self-doubt is not instantaneous. It is a process of attention, reflection, structured action, and feedback. Each completed next step strengthens the neural pattern of capability. Each observed success, however small, diminishes fear. Over time, doubt is replaced by deliberate evaluation, proactive planning, and consistent execution. The habit of action becomes identity, and identity governs outcomes more than motivation alone. The transformation is profound. With consistent focus, deliberate next steps, and tangible evidence of capability, opportunities no longer trigger hesitation. Decision-making becomes clear, action-oriented, and confident. Self-doubt ceases to be a controlling force, replaced by a mindset that evaluates risk, leverages knowledge, and engages decisively. The mind that once questioned its worthiness now recognizes that opportunities are not privileges to fear, but instruments to be acted upon intelligently. Every financial decision, negotiation, or opportunity approached with clarity and courage reinforces this transformation. Repeated practice, documentation, reflection, and targeted next steps convert fear into competence, hesitation into execution, and uncertainty into measurable achievement. The mind becomes a reliable ally rather than a limiting force. Each small, deliberate action builds momentum, reshaping internal narratives and creating an unstoppable capacity to engage with money opportunities confidently and consistently. Chapter 4. Create multiple income streams to secure financial freedom. Relying on a single source of income is a fragile strategy that leaves you exposed to circumstances beyond your control. Financial security is built through diversification, not luck or hope. Multiple income streams are not about overcomplicating life. They are about creating resilience, stability, and opportunity. Each additional source is a lever, a safeguard that ensures one setback does not derail your entire financial life. The mindset to embrace is proactive growth rather than reactive survival. To begin, you must first recognize the difference between active and passive income and how both can complement each other. Active income requires time and direct effort, like a job or consulting. Passive income grows from systems, investments, or assets that continue generating value without constant attention. Both are essential to building sustainable wealth. Start by taking inventory of your current skills, resources, and opportunities. Map every potential avenue to monetize knowledge, talent, or existing assets. This could include freelance work, consulting, digital products, investments, renting property, or monetizing hobbies. The key is to identify options that align with capability and interest, while offering scalability. When opportunities are aligned with competence, hesitation diminishes, and action becomes natural. One practical exercise is to implement the income stream brainstorm. Dedicate 1 hour to listing every possible way you can generate money without filtering for feasibility initially. Include skills, hobbies, existing possessions, or community needs. After the list is complete, rank items by potential impact and ease of execution. Choose one high-impact, manageable option to implement in the next 30 days. This creates momentum and transforms abstract possibilities into concrete actions. A real-life example illustrates the power of diversification. A graphic designer initially relied solely on client projects for income. After exploring potential streams, she started creating design templates and selling them on online marketplaces. She also began offering short paid workshops teaching basic design skills. Within 6 months, her monthly income from templates and workshops equaled her client work, creating financial security and freeing her to negotiate higher rates with existing clients without pressure. Multiple streams shifted her mindset from dependence to strategic control. Time management is critical when building multiple streams. Allocate blocks of consistent focus to each income avenue without overloading yourself. Begin with one primary stream and add secondary streams gradually. Ensure each new effort receives enough attention to function effectively before adding another. This structured approach prevents burnout and creates measurable results. Tracking progress across streams is equally important. Use simple metrics like revenue generated, hours invested, and growth potential to make informed decisions about scaling, adjusting, or discontinuing a stream. Automation is a powerful tool to expand streams without increasing effort proportionally. Set up systems for recurring income such as subscriptions, online courses, or affiliate partnerships. Digital tools, templates, and software can reduce manual work, allowing streams to grow independently. One content creator established an automated newsletter with affiliate offers and course promotions. The initial setup required effort, but once automated, it continued generating revenue with minimal intervention, illustrating the exponential potential of structured systems. Mindset plays a pivotal role. Every opportunity to diversify income is also an opportunity to grow confidence, skills, and resilience. Avoid the trap of thinking one stream will make you rich. The goal is security, leverage, and continuous growth. Each small income source builds credibility, knowledge, and the foundation for more ambitious projects. Consistency and perseverance are more important than immediate financial gain. Financial literacy enhances decision-making across multiple streams. Understanding basic principles of budgeting, taxation, and investment allows you to allocate resources intelligently between streams. Knowledge prevents unnecessary losses and identifies opportunities others overlook. For instance, an individual who understands passive investment options can combine short-term freelancing with long-term dividend-paying investments, balancing immediate cash flow with future growth. Another crucial practice is evaluating risk for each income stream. Active ventures might require more effort, but provide faster feedback and learning. Passive or automated ventures often carry financial or technical risks. Weigh the potential reward against exposure and design strategies that minimize negative impact. One entrepreneur split income between client work, a small e-commerce store, and rental property. Even when the e-commerce venture temporarily slowed, rental income and consulting work maintained stability, demonstrating the protective effect of diversification. Consistency is essential. Daily small actions in each stream compound into measurable success. Dedicate focused blocks of time to skill improvement, marketing, client outreach, or system optimization. The accumulation of disciplined incremental effort produces exponential results over months. Avoid the temptation to chase every new opportunity. Select a manageable number of streams and execute with precision. Mastery in a few areas creates stronger results than shallow efforts across many. Visualization strengthens commitment to building multiple streams. Mentally rehearse managing responsibilities, completing tasks, and achieving revenue goals across streams. This mental practice prepares you to act decisively when opportunities arise and enhances focus under pressure. Many successful entrepreneurs credit visualization with bridging the gap between intention and execution, allowing them to engage proactively rather than reactively. Regular review sessions are vital. Weekly or monthly assessments of income streams, resource allocation, and effectiveness allow for strategic adjustments. Identify underperforming efforts, successes to scale, and new potential avenues. Adaptation ensures growth remains sustainable and aligned with evolving skills and goals. One freelancer reviewed her streams monthly and discovered that a small online course was undervalued. By increasing promotion and adjusting pricing, revenue doubled within 2 months, demonstrating how reflection and adjustment enhance outcomes. Collaboration multiplies potential. Seek opportunities to partner with complementary skills or networks. Joint ventures can accelerate growth of income streams and reduce individual workload. Networking with peers who share resources or client bases can unlock markets previously inaccessible alone. Collaboration also provides feedback, insight, and mutual accountability, making streams more robust and sustainable. Eliminating unnecessary complexity keeps the process manageable. Each stream should have clearly defined steps, outputs, and goals. Avoid adding tasks that do not contribute directly to measurable growth. Simple, repeatable processes reduce stress and increase predictability. Systems and workflows standardize tasks, leaving mental energy free for creativity, strategy, and learning. Commitment to this approach produces more than financial security. It fosters independence, creativity, and confidence. Each stream reinforces capability, problem-solving, and resilience. The act of creating multiple avenues of income conditions the mind to seek opportunity, execute with discipline, and adapt without fear. Over time, this mindset transforms risk into calculated action and scarcity thinking into abundant strategy. Multiple income streams also provide freedom to pursue purpose. When survival is not dependent on one source, decisions become aligned with long-term goals rather than short-term pressure. This flexibility enables higher quality work, strategic growth, and selective opportunities that produce meaningful returns. One example is a consultant who built secondary streams in online courses and freelance workshops. With consistent earnings across streams, she chose projects that aligned with passion and expertise, creating both financial and personal satisfaction. The first step is simple, yet decisive. Identify one additional income opportunity you can implement within 30 days. Break it into concrete steps. Research, plan, execute, dedicate consistent time, track results, and iterate. Each small success reinforces ability, reduces fear of diversification, and produces momentum. Over months, these streams compound into stability, opportunity, and freedom that a single source could never provide. Building multiple income streams is not merely a financial tactic. It is a lifestyle of proactive creation, disciplined execution, and strategic thinking. Each stream increases resilience, skill, and independence. The process transforms hesitation into action, fear into capability, and uncertainty into measurable achievement. This approach secures both present stability and long-term growth, creating the foundation for financial freedom and a mindset that constantly seeks opportunity, adapts intelligently, and executes relentlessly. Chapter 5. Invest wisely to grow wealth consistently over time. Investing is the engine that transforms money from a tool into a catalyst for long-term growth. It is not about gambling, timing markets, or following trends blindly. Wise investing is deliberate, disciplined, and consistent. Wealth grows not through occasional luck, but through a series of rational decisions made repeatedly over time. The first step toward investing wisely is understanding the principle that money, when placed thoughtfully, can work while you focus on other pursuits. Time, discipline, and knowledge compound to create results far beyond what short-term effort can achieve. Before any money is allocated, clarity about goals is essential. Are you seeking long-term wealth, steady income, or a combination of both? What is your risk tolerance? How much time can you commit to learning and monitoring investments? These questions define the strategy rather than leaving choices to chance. Clear goals prevent emotional decision-making, which is the leading cause of losses in investing. When objectives are precise, actions align naturally with intended outcomes. Begin by building a foundation of knowledge. Learn the difference between assets and liabilities. Understand the concept of compounding and explore various investment vehicles. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, and digital assets all behave differently and serve different purposes. Each has risk, return potential, and liquidity characteristics. A beginner who invests without understanding these factors is essentially gambling. Education transforms uncertainty into informed action, allowing decisions to be made confidently. A practical approach is to start small and observe results. One practice is the incremental investment method. Allocate a fixed percentage of disposable income each month to an investment vehicle you understand. Track performance over time while continuing to learn about other options. This method reduces emotional stress, prevents large losses, and develops a habit of regular investment. The action itself builds both experience and confidence, forming a feedback loop that reinforces intelligent behavior. Consider a real-life example. A teacher with modest savings began investing $100 monthly in a diversified index fund. At first, the amount seemed insignificant, but after 5 years, the contributions combined with compounding returns had grown substantially. The small disciplined habit, reinforced by continuous learning about market cycles and diversification, created a tangible sense of security and opportunity. The lesson is that consistency often matters more than the initial amount. Diversification is critical to managing risk. Do not place all capital into a single stock, fund, or asset class. Spread resources across multiple sectors and types of investments to reduce exposure to unpredictable events. Wise diversification ensures that even when one investment underperforms, others provide stability. It does not eliminate risk entirely, but creates resilience and smooths growth over time. Evaluate investments not on hype, but on fundamentals. For stocks, examine revenue, profit, and growth potential rather than reacting to news or popular opinion. For real estate, analyze cash flow, location quality, and long-term appreciation potential. Rational assessment reduces impulsive decisions and focuses effort on opportunities that have measurable and repeatable advantages. Discipline in evaluation is what separates successful investors from those who gamble emotionally. Reinvesting returns is a strategy that accelerates growth. Instead of withdrawing dividends or profits immediately, redirect them into the same or new investments. Compounding returns become significantly more powerful when earnings are continually put to work. One example involves a small business owner who reinvested profits into improving operational efficiency and acquiring low-risk income-generating assets. Within 3 years, the combined effect of reinvestment and increased skill created exponential growth in both revenue and net worth. Regularly review and adjust your investment plan. Economic conditions, personal circumstances, and financial goals evolve. Monthly or quarterly reflection allows you to identify underperforming investments, seize new opportunities, and refine strategy. The goal is not reactionary changes based on market noise, but structured adjustments informed by learning and observation. Discipline in review maintains progress and prevents stagnation. Patience is essential. Wealth does not appear overnight. Emotional reactions to short-term losses often lead to poor decisions, including selling at the wrong time. Developing the mental framework to view investments as long-term commitments reduces stress and prevents impulsive mistakes. Mindset and psychology are as critical as knowledge because even perfect analysis fails if executed inconsistently. Start with investments that match current knowledge and gradually expand into more complex areas. Attempting advanced strategies without experience exposes capital to unnecessary risk. A gradual approach allows learning through practice rather than theory alone. This method strengthens confidence while building a foundation for more sophisticated opportunities in the future. Automation simplifies consistent investing. Setting up automatic transfers to investment accounts ensures that contribution habits remain unbroken despite busy schedules or emotional distractions. Automated investing also enforces discipline, making growth predictable and removing dependence on motivation alone. A professional who automated contributions to an index fund discovered that over 5 years, the habit of consistency outperformed attempts at timing the market or chasing hot tips. Develop an analytical approach to risk. For each investment, consider potential upside, downside, and probability of outcomes. Ask, what is the worst-case scenario, and can I tolerate it? What is the realistic gain, and how likely is it? Structured evaluation prevents reckless decisions driven by fear or greed, turning uncertainty into actionable data. Education should be ongoing. Markets evolve, new opportunities emerge, and strategies improve. Continuous learning prevents stagnation and strengthens decision-making. Read books, follow credible sources, and study case histories of both successes and failures. Knowledge transforms fear into preparation and equips you to act decisively when opportunity arises. One practical habit is to track investments with a simple ledger or spreadsheet. Note date, amount, type of asset, and rationale for the investment. Include notes about learning or insights gained through observation. Over time, this log serves as a reference to refined strategy, learn from mistakes, and reinforce confidence in your ability to make wise decisions. Start modestly but think strategically. Even small amounts invested regularly grow over time. Focus on consistency, diversification, learning, and disciplined reinvestment. Avoid chasing trends, reacting emotionally, or attempting shortcuts. Each disciplined choice compounds with previous decisions to create substantial wealth, often surpassing expectations of those who seek instant gains. Investment mindset goes beyond money. It teaches patience, resilience, analytical thinking, and long-term planning. The discipline developed in managing money translates to business, career, and personal development. The process of evaluating, committing, and reflecting fosters a mindset capable of navigating uncertainty and producing consistent results in multiple areas of life. Implement one tangible action immediately. Choose a low-risk investment aligned with current knowledge. Decide on a monthly contribution and automate it. Track its progress, note lessons, and reflect weekly. This small but deliberate action initiates the habit of disciplined investing, gradually building both knowledge and wealth. Real action outweighs theoretical understanding. The combination of repeated action, analysis, and reflection turns even modest contributions into measurable growth over months and years. Wise investing is not about chasing quick wins. It is about thoughtful placement of resources, disciplined consistency, continuous learning, and patient execution. The accumulation of deliberate decisions over time produces growth far beyond what luck or speculation can achieve. Each investment decision, approached rationally and reinforced by practice, strengthens capability, reduces doubt, and creates the foundation for long-term financial freedom. With consistent focus, patience, and intentional action, investing becomes a natural and reliable tool for creating wealth, security, and the freedom to make choices with clarity and confidence. Chapter 6. Control spending behavior to increase savings every day. Spending habits determine the foundation of financial stability more than income alone. Earning more money without controlling behavior often results in little to no progress toward real wealth. Daily decisions, even small ones, accumulate into substantial financial outcomes over weeks, months, and years. Every purchase is a choice that either reinforces financial discipline or erodes it. Controlling spending is not about deprivation or restriction, but about intentional allocation of resources to align with long-term goals. Recognizing that every dollar has purpose transforms money from a source of stress into a tool for growth. Begin by observing spending behavior with honesty. Track every expense for at least 7 consecutive days, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Include coffees, snacks, online subscriptions, impulse buys, and cash expenditures. Many people underestimate these minor expenditures, yet they often represent the largest drain on available resources. Writing down each transaction illuminates hidden patterns and uncovers opportunities to redirect funds towards savings or investments. Awareness alone changes behavior because it creates accountability and visibility of choices that were previously automatic. Once awareness is established, prioritize expenses based on value and necessity. Ask for each item, does this purchase directly support my financial objectives or improve life meaningfully? This evaluation prevents unconscious spending and ensures money is used intentionally. Shifting the mindset from immediate gratification to strategic allocation strengthens control and reduces wasted resources. Over time, this approach cultivates a natural habit of questioning every financial decision before acting. One practical exercise is the daily spending pause. Before making any purchase, pause for 5 minutes and assess whether it is necessary, how it aligns with goals, and if delaying the purchase could be advantageous. This simple intervention interrupts impulsive behavior and creates a deliberate habit of evaluating spending. A real-life example illustrates its effectiveness. A young professional regularly overspent on dining out and entertainment. By applying a 5-minute pause before each discretionary purchase, she gradually reduced unnecessary expenses by 30%. The money saved was redirected into a high-interest savings account, producing noticeable growth within a few months. Automating savings is a complementary strategy. Treat savings like a fixed expense rather than an optional activity. Automate transfers to a separate account or investment vehicle immediately after receiving income. This approach prevents the temptation to spend first and save later, which often fails. Automation enforces discipline without requiring continuous conscious effort, allowing financial goals to progress steadily and predictably. Setting clear spending limits reinforces control. Allocate specific amounts to categories such as groceries, transportation, entertainment, and discretionary purchases. When the limit is reached, pause spending in that category until the next period. Boundaries prevent overspending and create awareness of consumption patterns. Over time, adhering to limits transforms awareness into instinctive discipline. Monitoring tools, such as apps, spreadsheets, or simple ledgers, provide feedback and accountability, enhancing the habit further. Consider the impact of psychological triggers on spending. Emotional states like stress, boredom, or social pressure often drive unnecessary purchases. Identifying these triggers and implementing alternative routines, such as walking, journaling, or brief reflection, prevents impulsive financial decisions. Recognizing emotional triggers creates resilience and ensures money is allocated rationally rather than reactively. Visualizing long-term goals strengthens spending discipline. Imagine what saving consistently over months or years achieves: a comfortable emergency fund, investments, or financial freedom. Associating daily choices with tangible outcomes reinforces self-control. The mind becomes conditioned to prioritize long-term rewards over fleeting impulses, increasing the likelihood of consistent action. One effective habit is to implement a needs versus wants checklist. Before any discretionary purchase, categorize the item. Determine if it is essential for survival, health, or professional growth, or if it is a desire that can be delayed. Items that do not meet a defined criterion are postponed or eliminated. This simple framework dramatically reduces wasteful spending and strengthens decision-making skills over time. Real-life application shows the cumulative effect of disciplined control. An entrepreneur tracked daily expenses and implemented a needs versus wants approach. Small purchases, previously considered trivial, were reallocated toward investment opportunities. Within a year, these cumulative changes allowed for an additional $10,000 in capital available for growth initiatives. The individual not only increased wealth, but also developed a mindset of strategic allocation that informs broader business and personal financial decisions. Controlling spending also involves strategic planning. Plan purchases, anticipate expenses, and avoid last-minute decisions that often carry higher costs. Bulk buying essentials, using discount opportunities responsibly, and scheduling discretionary spending prevents impulsive financial strain. Planning shifts control from external forces to personal choice, reducing stress and increasing predictability. Adopting a reflective practice at the end of each day reinforces awareness. Review every transaction, evaluate alignment with goals, and identify one adjustment for the next day. Reflection converts behavior into actionable learning and prevents repeated mistakes. Over weeks, this practice builds a heightened sense of responsibility and deliberate financial judgment. Limit exposure to temptation by controlling environmental factors. Avoid unnecessary browsing of e-commerce sites, turn off promotional notifications, and reduce exposure to advertising that triggers impulsive behavior. By shaping the environment to support restraint, discipline is easier to maintain. Small structural changes often yield larger results than relying solely on willpower. Tracking progress visually motivates continued control. Create simple charts or checklists to monitor adherence to spending limits and growth of savings. Seeing tangible results reinforces habits, encourages perseverance, and demonstrates that small daily actions compound into meaningful outcomes. Regular review of visual progress strengthens self-efficacy and commitment to goals. Cultivate delayed gratification as a core habit. Waiting before making discretionary purchases allows the rational mind to assess value and necessity. Over time, this habit transforms impulses into calculated decisions. The practice of postponement also aligns spending with financial priorities, ensuring resources serve strategic objectives rather than transient desires. Integrating mindful spending into daily routines makes the behavior sustainable. Allocate time each week to review finances, set budgets, and plan upcoming expenses. Make reflection part of educating oneself on personal finance amplifies control. Understanding interest rates, fees, and investment principles informs smarter choices. Knowledge reduces vulnerability to wasteful spending and empowers action that produces tangible benefits. Continuous learning transforms financial management from reactive survival into proactive strategy. The habit of controlled spending cultivates broader discipline. It strengthens decision-making, focus, and long-term planning skills applicable across career, business, and personal development. Financial restraint fosters confidence, resilience, and the ability to navigate opportunities strategically. Money becomes a tool for growth rather than a source of stress or limitation. Implement one immediate practice. Begin a daily log of all expenses, applying the 5-minute pause before discretionary purchases. Evaluate needs versus wants, adjust spending according to limits, and reflect at day's end. This single practice starts a chain reaction of awareness, discipline, and strategic allocation that compounds daily. Small, consistent actions produce significant results over time. Controlling spending behavior is not about deprivation, but about creating freedom. Each deliberate choice increases savings, builds resilience, and opens opportunities for investment and growth. Discipline in allocation transforms financial habits into a predictable, sustainable path to long-term wealth. The mind shifts from reactive spending to proactive strategy, and resources begin to multiply, not through luck, but through intentional, consistent, and informed behavior. Chapter 7. Expand financial knowledge to make smarter money decisions. Financial knowledge is the cornerstone of every intelligent decision about money. Without it, even the highest income or strongest work ethic can fail to produce lasting wealth. Understanding how money functions, how markets operate, and how personal finance systems work transforms fear and uncertainty into opportunity and control. Expanding financial knowledge is not an academic exercise. It is a practical strategy that allows you to evaluate options, minimize mistakes, and maximize growth consistently. Every decision from investing to budgeting becomes smarter when backed by understanding rather than habit or impulse. The first step is acknowledging that knowledge is never complete. Financial systems evolve, regulations change, and investment opportunities develop constantly. A mindset committed to continuous learning separates those who grow wealth steadily from those who stagnate, despite effort. Begin by establishing a structured approach to learning. Dedicate specific time each day or week to study financial topics relevant to your goals. This can include reading books, following credible financial publications, attending seminars, or engaging with knowledgeable mentors. A disciplined approach ensures consistent progress rather than sporadic, reactive learning. Practical application strengthens understanding. Knowledge without action rarely produces results. For example, learning about compound interest is theoretical until you begin calculating potential growth on a monthly investment. Observing how small, regular contributions grow over time turns abstract concepts into tangible, actionable insight. This combination of theory and practice ensures lessons are internalized and applied effectively. One actionable practice is the 30-minute daily learning session. Each day, dedicate a focused block of time to explore a financial topic. Take notes, summarize key points, and identify one way to apply the lesson immediately. This practice trains both comprehension and execution, reinforcing habits that make knowledge actionable rather than passive. A real-life example demonstrates the impact of expanding financial knowledge. A young professional initially saved sporadically with little understanding of investment vehicles. After committing to daily learning, she explored stocks, bonds, and index funds, understanding risk profiles and expected returns. She began allocating savings into diversified assets based on principles learned. Within 2 years, her net worth grew significantly, and she was confident evaluating new opportunities independently. Knowledge eliminated hesitation and empowered her to make informed choices. Understanding risk is central to financial intelligence. Each opportunity carries potential benefits and downsides. Evaluating risk requires comprehension of probability, market dynamics, and personal tolerance. Informed assessment transforms decisions from guesswork into calculated action. A disciplined investor considers worst-case scenarios, expected returns, and the likelihood of outcomes before committing resources. This analytical approach reduces impulsive mistakes and positions wealth for sustainable growth. Financial knowledge also enhances problem-solving skills. When unexpected expenses arise or market conditions fluctuate, individuals with understanding can adapt strategically. For example, knowing how interest rates affect loan repayment enables adjustments that minimize cost. Similarly, awareness of tax regulations allows planning to optimize retention of earnings. Knowledge provides a toolkit for managing both opportunities and challenges effectively. Developing critical thinking is essential. Not all advice or trends are valid. Learning to analyze information, distinguish credible sources from noise, and assess applicability to personal circumstances prevents costly errors. One practical approach is to summarize lessons learned from various sources and test them against real-world scenarios. Over time, this builds discernment and sharpens decision-making. Another effective habit is diversification of learning. Explore multiple domains of finance, including budgeting, investing, taxation, debt management, and entrepreneurship. Each area informs the others, creating a holistic understanding that strengthens overall decision-making. Focusing narrowly limits perspective and reduces adaptability in complex financial environments. Holistic knowledge ensures confidence and flexibility when evaluating new ventures. Tracking progress consolidates learning. Maintain a financial journal, noting concepts learned, decisions made, outcomes achieved, and lessons from mistakes. Reviewing this record reinforces retention, identifies patterns, and provides evidence of growth. It transforms abstract knowledge into practical experience, enhancing confidence and competence over time. Network with financially knowledgeable individuals accelerates learning. Engaging with mentors, attending workshops, or participating in professional groups exposes you to diverse perspectives and strategies. Exposure to real-world experiences complements study and provides context often missing from textbooks or articles. Interactions offer insight into risk management, opportunity evaluation, and mindset approaches that drive success. Financial knowledge also reduces emotional reactions to money. Understanding market behavior, investment principles, and economic cycles prevents panic selling or impulsive purchases. Rational evaluation becomes the default response, replacing fear, excitement, or social pressure. Emotional intelligence combined with financial literacy creates a strong foundation for disciplined wealth building. Applying knowledge requires incremental action. Start small and scale over time. If learning about stock investment, initially allocate a manageable amount to gain experience while limiting risk. Observing results, analyzing performance, and adjusting strategy reinforces learning while providing measurable feedback. Gradual engagement ensures that theoretical understanding translates into effective practice. Visualization enhances comprehension and motivation. Mentally rehearsing financial decisions, reviewing potential outcomes, and imagining strategic moves strengthens confidence and prepares the mind for decisive action. This technique bridges the gap between knowledge and execution, making challenges more approachable and reducing hesitation. Regular review sessions solidify expertise. Weekly or monthly reflections on decisions, market behavior, and personal financial goals identify areas for improvement, reinforce good habits, and highlight knowledge gaps. Reflection converts passive learning into active mastery, ensuring progress is cumulative rather than fragmented. One practical exercise is to analyze personal spending and investment patterns. Identify areas where understanding is limited and research those topics systematically. For example, if rental property investments are confusing, spend time learning about market valuation, cash flow analysis, and risk management. Apply concepts in small, manageable steps to build competence and confidence. Financial knowledge also fosters independence. Decisions become self-directed rather than reliant on advisors, friends, or trends. Individuals with understanding are capable of evaluating opportunities, negotiating deals, and planning strategically with autonomy. Independence strengthens confidence and reduces vulnerability to manipulation or misinformation. Knowledge enables strategic goal setting. Awareness of financial principles allows setting realistic targets, estimating timelines, and anticipating challenges. Clear objectives make daily actions purposeful and measurable, transforming abstract aspirations into tangible achievements. Goal-oriented thinking guides consistent effort and provides feedback for continuous improvement. Develop the habit of questioning any assumptions. Challenge conventional wisdom, evaluate personal biases, and consider alternative strategies. This mindset promotes adaptability and prevents stagnation in decision-making. Evaluating multiple perspectives enhances problem-solving and uncovers opportunities that passive acceptance would miss. The first step to expanding financial knowledge is deliberate and consistent action. Dedicate daily time to study, apply lessons to real-life situations, reflect on outcomes, and adapt strategies accordingly. Each increment of understanding compounds over time, producing measurable improvement in decisions, confidence, and wealth accumulation. Expanding financial knowledge transforms money from a source of stress into a tool for growth, control, and freedom. It empowers decision-making, reduces risk, strengthens discipline, and creates the capacity to navigate complexity with confidence. Consistent learning, application, and reflection produce a mindset capable of identifying opportunities, evaluating risk, and executing strategically. Every informed choice builds cumulative advantage, generating long-term wealth and a resilient, empowered approach to financial life. Chapter 8. Build resilience to overcome setbacks in wealth creation. Setbacks are an inevitable part of the journey toward financial success. Every entrepreneur, investor, and professional faces obstacles that challenge progress, test patience, and create doubt. Wealth creation is rarely linear. Losses, failed ventures, unexpected expenses, and market fluctuations are part of the process. Resilience is the skill that allows individuals to recover, adapt, and continue forward, despite these challenges. Building this mental and emotional strength is as important as mastering money itself, because without it, opportunities are missed, confidence diminishes, and potential remains unrealized. Resilience begins with perspective. Setbacks are not failures, but feedback. Each obstacle contains information about what works, what does not, and where adjustments are necessary. Viewing challenges as learning opportunities reframes experience from discouragement into empowerment. This mindset separates those who recover quickly and continue building wealth from those who stagnate or give up entirely. The ability to remain focused and adaptable in the face of adversity is the true differentiator in long-term financial success. Developing resilience requires self-awareness. Recognize emotional responses to setbacks, such as frustration, fear, or disappointment. Accepting these feelings without judgment allows you to process them constructively rather than react impulsively. Emotional control ensures that decisions remain rational, preventing one setback from cascading into multiple financial missteps. Reflection and mindfulness reinforce clarity, enabling strategic responses rather than reactionary behavior. Practical action is central to resilience. One effective practice is the setback analysis method. When a financial setback occurs, take time to write down exactly what happened, why it happened, what was under your control, and what lessons can be applied moving forward. This structured approach converts negative experiences into actionable insight. By analyzing setbacks objectively, the emotional weight diminishes and opportunities for improvement become clear. A real-life example illustrates this principle. A small business owner invested heavily in a new product line that failed to gain traction. Initial reaction was disappointment and fear of financial loss. Applying structured analysis, she identified miscalculations in market research and marketing strategy. Instead of abandoning the business, she adjusted the approach, diversified offerings, and implemented more rigorous testing methods for future projects. Within a year, revenue not only recovered but surpassed previous levels. Resilience allowed setbacks to become catalysts for growth, rather than endpoints of failure. Preparation enhances the ability to withstand setbacks. Financial buffers, such as emergency savings, diversified income streams, and insurance, mitigate the immediate impact of unexpected events. These safeguards reduce stress and provide time and resources to recover strategically. Building resilience is not only about mental strength, but also about creating structural protections that allow recovery without catastrophic loss. Resilient individuals maintain consistent action despite uncertainty. Even when immediate results are disappointing, they continue to execute plans, refine strategies, and seek opportunities. Momentum is critical. Every small forward step builds confidence and minimizes the psychological weight of setbacks. Consistency reinforces control, turning potential discouragement into steady progress. Learning from others accelerates resilience. Study experiences of entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals who have faced adversity. Analyze their mistakes, strategies for recovery, and mindset shifts that enabled success. Knowledge gained from external examples informs personal decisions, reducing the likelihood of repeating common errors. Mentorship and guidance amplify resilience by providing perspective and accountability. Mindset shifts play a central role. Instead of fearing setbacks, anticipate them as part of the process. Developing an expectation of challenges removes shock value and reduces emotional volatility. Planning for obstacles allows preemptive solutions, increasing confidence and adaptability. A proactive mindset transforms uncertainty into preparation and opportunity. Self-discipline under pressure strengthens resilience. Maintaining financial habits, strategic focus, and action plans during difficult periods ensures continuity of growth. Disruption in routine often compounds setbacks. Resilient individuals maintain core practices, such as tracking expenses, investing consistently, or pursuing skill development, even when circumstances are unfavorable. Discipline converts adversity into structured action rather than chaos. One effective habit is to implement a daily recovery reflection. Each evening, review challenges faced, progress made, and steps taken to mitigate obstacles. Identify one actionable adjustment for the next day. This habit reinforces learning, prevents emotional carryover, and ensures continuous adaptation. Over time, this practice builds a mental framework that treats setbacks as manageable components of a larger trajectory rather than insurmountable barriers. Resilience also involves flexibility. Stubbornly adhering to a failing approach wastes time and resources. Adapting strategies while maintaining long-term vision is critical. Evaluate outcomes objectively, adjust methods, and continue execution. Flexibility ensures that setbacks inform evolution rather than terminate progress. Visualization strengthens emotional resilience. Mentally rehearsing scenarios where challenges occur and practicing responses prepares the mind to act decisively under pressure. This mental rehearsal reduces fear, reinforces confidence, and strengthens problem-solving under stress. Anticipating setbacks in imagination makes real-life execution more controlled and effective. Long-term perspective is essential. Financial growth occurs over years, often with periods of stagnation or temporary loss. Viewing setbacks as brief moments in an extended timeline reduces panic and maintains focus. Patience and endurance are integral components of resilience, ensuring that short-term difficulties do not overshadow long-term goals. Community and support networks enhance recovery. Engaging with peers, mentors, or professional groups provides advice, encouragement, and accountability. Sharing experiences fosters perspective and often uncovers solutions or approaches previously overlooked. Resilience is amplified by collective wisdom and support, creating both emotional and practical reinforcement during challenging times. Building resilience involves repeated exposure to manageable challenges. Seek opportunities that push limits, test problem-solving, and require adaptability. Over time, repeated practice strengthens both confidence and capability. The ability to handle minor setbacks gracefully translates to greater competence in navigating major obstacles when they arise. Maintaining health and well-being under pressure supports resilience. Physical exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest enhance mental clarity, energy, and stress management. When the body is strong, the mind can better handle challenges and sustain consistent action during setbacks. Health and financial resilience are interconnected, reinforcing overall capability. Implement one immediate practice. When encountering a financial setback, document the event, identify controllable factors, extract lessons, and outline corrective action. Follow through with at least one small step toward recovery within 24 hours. This approach converts emotional response into structured action, accelerating recovery and reinforcing the mindset that obstacles are temporary and manageable. Building resilience is not about avoiding setbacks, but about mastering the ability to navigate them strategically. Each challenge becomes a teacher, every failure a source of insight, and every obstacle an opportunity to strengthen confidence, discipline, and adaptability. The cumulative effect of deliberate recovery practices, mindset preparation, and structured action ensures that setbacks no longer define financial trajectory, but instead accelerate growth. Consistent cultivation of resilience transforms difficulties into stepping stones toward long-term wealth, independence, and confidence. Chapter 9. Visualize financial goals to strengthen your money actions. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools for translating ambition into tangible financial results. The mind cannot distinguish fully between vividly imagined outcomes and real experiences, and this quality can be harnessed to strengthen focus, motivation, and decision-making. Visualizing financial goals turns abstract numbers and distant ambitions into concrete mental images, creating a blueprint that guides daily actions. Each choice, from saving to investing, becomes informed by a clear vision of where you want to be. Without a defined mental picture, decisions are reactive, scattered, and often misaligned with long-term objectives. The process begins with clarity. A goal must be specific and measurable. Visualize not just being wealthy, but exactly what that wealth represents: the account balances, the investments, the lifestyle, and even the feelings associated with achieving it. Engage all senses in this mental exercise. Picture the environment where you want to live, the work you do, the freedom you experience, and the confidence you feel. Sensory-rich visualization deepens the psychological impact and strengthens commitment to the necessary actions. To make visualization effective, couple it with planning. Visualizing a desired outcome alone is insufficient if not paired with practical steps. Each day, review the vision and ask yourself what actions will move you closer to it. For example, if the vision includes owning a rental property generating passive income, identify the steps: researching markets, saving for a down payment, and contacting professionals for guidance. Visualization acts as a compass, but action is the engine that propels the journey forward. One practical exercise is the 5-minute goal immersion. Each morning, sit quietly and visualize your financial objectives with detail and intensity for 5 minutes. Imagine achieving each goal, feel the emotions, and think through the actions that will bring it closer. Record insights that emerge during the session to transform abstract ideas into actionable steps. This daily habit primes the mind to recognize opportunities, maintain discipline, and resist distractions that diverge from goals. Real-life examples illustrate the power of visualization. A young entrepreneur dreamed of building a business generating consistent online revenue. She visualized every aspect: the website traffic, sales figures, satisfied customers, and the lifestyle it would support. Daily visualization motivated her to act decisively on marketing, product quality, and customer engagement. Within 18 months, she had built a thriving business, surpassing initial expectations. The clarity of her vision enabled focused action, turning imagination into measurable financial achievement. Visualization also strengthens resilience. Seeing obstacles as temporary detours rather than permanent barriers allows you to navigate challenges with confidence. When setbacks occur, mentally rehearsing solutions in advance ensures rapid and composed responses. This approach reduces fear, maintains focus, and increases the likelihood of sustaining momentum despite difficulties. A clear mental image of success serves as an anchor, preventing discouragement from derailing progress. Integrating visualization into goal setting enhances precision. Write down financial objectives and include vivid descriptions. Create vision boards, digital mock-ups, or journals that represent goals visually. The act of converting abstract numbers into tangible representations amplifies clarity and reinforces commitment. Reviewing these materials regularly embeds goals into consciousness and transforms them from distant ideas into daily priorities. Visualization works best when combined with incremental milestones. Break large objectives into smaller, achievable targets, and visualize each one. Seeing success in achievable steps builds confidence and maintains motivation. For instance, if the goal is accumulating $50,000 in investments, visualize reaching $5,000, $25,000, $25,000. Celebrating incremental achievements strengthens belief in capability and reinforces behaviors that drive continued progress. Decision-making improves when aligned with a clear vision. Daily choices become easier because each action can be evaluated against the mental image of the desired outcome. Spending decisions, work priorities, and investments are guided by a consistent reference point. This alignment minimizes wasted effort and ensures energy is devoted to activities that directly contribute to long-term objectives. Engaging the emotional component of visualization enhances effectiveness. Feeling the satisfaction, pride, and security associated with achieving financial goals creates a psychological pull toward success. Emotional resonance motivates sustained effort, increases patience, and reduces susceptibility to distractions or discouragement. Visualization becomes more than mental rehearsal. It becomes an emotional anchor reinforcing perseverance. One practical habit is to integrate visualization with a written plan. Each week, review financial goals, identify actions for the upcoming days, and mentally rehearse executing them. For example, if increasing savings is the focus, visualize allocating specific amounts, resisting unnecessary purchases, and seeing the balance grow. Daily attention to both the mental image and the action plan ensures alignment between intention and execution. Visualization can also enhance creativity in wealth building. Mentally exploring goals encourages brainstorming innovative approaches to challenges. Imagining different strategies, market opportunities, or investment methods primes the mind to recognize possibilities that might otherwise be overlooked. A habit of mental rehearsal stimulates insight, leading to practical, actionable ideas that support financial growth. Consistency is critical. Daily engagement with visualization maintains clarity, reinforces motivation, and prevents drift. Even 5 minutes each day compounds over months, creating a mental framework that continuously informs behavior. The mind becomes trained to seek opportunities aligned with goals, reject distractions, and prioritize actions that move objectives forward. Visualization also strengthens accountability. When goals are vividly imagined, deviating from plans becomes noticeable and psychologically uncomfortable. The mental image acts as a mirror reflecting the consequences of inaction or misaligned decisions. This internal feedback loop encourages discipline and consistent adherence to strategies that support long-term wealth. Financial visualization is enhanced by surrounding oneself with reminders. Place notes, charts, or digital prompts where they are frequently seen. These cues reinforce the mental image and maintain focus, especially during periods of fatigue, stress, or competing priorities. Environmental reinforcement ensures that visualization extends beyond deliberate practice into subconscious influence on behavior. A real-life application demonstrates cumulative effect. An individual seeking to save for a down payment on a home visualized the property, the neighborhood, and the process of achieving the goal daily. She coupled visualization with a strict savings plan and automated transfers, Within 2 years, the mental rehearsal reinforced daily financial decisions, maintained discipline, and kept motivation high, resulting in a substantial accumulation of savings and the ability to purchase the desired property without compromise. Visualization transforms abstract financial goals into actionable, emotionally compelling targets. It aligns thought, emotion, and action to create consistent, focused behaviors that drive measurable results. Daily practice reinforces clarity, strengthens discipline, enhances decision-making, and fosters resilience. Small but consistent mental investment in imagining success amplifies tangible achievement over time. Start immediately by identifying one specific financial goal, engaging all senses to visualize its achievement for several minutes daily, and outlining actionable steps to support progress. Pair this mental practice with practical execution to convert intention into reality. Repeated engagement cultivates a mindset oriented toward opportunity, clarity, and consistent progress, ensuring that financial goals are not just imagined, but actively realized through deliberate, disciplined action. Chapter 10. Take bold action daily to achieve financial independence. Achieving financial independence requires more than knowledge, planning, or intention. It demands bold, decisive action executed consistently. Dreams and goals remain abstract until converted into tangible steps taken daily. Taking bold action means moving beyond fear, hesitation, or uncertainty and committing fully to decisions that advance your financial journey. It is the bridge between understanding and results, transforming planning into measurable progress. Without action, even the clearest vision, the most precise budget, and the strongest mindset yield little real change. Bold action is not reckless behavior. It is calculated, confident execution of strategies designed to produce long-term wealth. Boldness begins with clarity of purpose. Understand exactly what financial independence means for you. Define the lifestyle, freedom, and security you want to achieve. Break down this vision into actionable objectives with timelines, milestones, and measurable outcomes. Clarity reduces indecision, strengthens motivation, and allows each daily action to align with the ultimate goal. Without this specificity, actions become scattered, momentum weakens, and opportunities are missed. Start small but act consistently. Each day, identify at least one meaningful action that directly moves you toward financial independence. This could be researching an investment, negotiating a contract, increasing revenue streams, or optimizing spending. The key is repetition and commitment. Daily action compounds over time, producing exponential results that far exceed occasional bursts of effort. Momentum builds discipline and reinforces confidence, making bold decisions increasingly natural. One practical exercise is the daily action commitment. Each morning, write down one bold action that must be completed by the end of the day. Commit to executing it fully without delay or excuse. This habit trains decisiveness, reinforces accountability, and reduces procrastination. Over weeks, the cumulative impact of repeated bold choices propels progress faster than any theoretical planning alone. Real-life examples illustrate the power of consistent bold action. A young professional wanted to achieve financial independence through entrepreneurship, but feared market competition and initial failure. He committed to making one decisive move daily, contacting clients, launching marketing campaigns, or pitching ideas. Within 12 months, his efforts accumulated into a fully operational business generating consistent income. Bold daily action transformed uncertainty into measurable achievement, proving that execution is the key driver of results. Risk-taking is an inherent part of bold action, but it should be calculated rather than impulsive. Evaluate potential outcomes, consider worst-case scenarios, and prepare strategies to mitigate downsides. Boldness does not mean ignoring consequences. It means confronting challenges with preparation and courage. Strategic risk-taking amplifies opportunities and accelerates progress, distinguishing those who grow wealth steadily from those who remain stagnant. Bold action strengthens confidence. Each completed step reinforces belief in your capability to create results. Confidence fuels further action, creating a positive feedback loop where success begets success. Hesitation diminishes over time, replaced by a proactive mindset that seeks opportunities and embraces challenges rather than avoiding them. This psychological shift is essential for achieving financial independence, where decisive action consistently outpaces passive hope. Taking bold action also requires prioritization. Focus on activities that yield the highest impact toward long-term wealth. Avoid distractions, low-value tasks, and minor conveniences that consume energy without contributing to financial goals. Applying effort strategically ensures that each action moves you closer to independence rather than maintaining the status quo. High-impact focus is the hallmark of effective execution. Persistence complements boldness. Not every action produces immediate results, and obstacles will arise. Continue acting despite setbacks, refining approaches and learning from experience. Daily execution creates resilience, enabling you to recover from failures and adapt strategies. Persistence transforms small steps into momentum, and repeated exposure to challenges builds competence and confidence. Visualization supports bold action by reinforcing clarity and motivation. Mentally rehearsing execution strengthens preparation, reduces hesitation, and primes the mind for decisive behavior. Seeing yourself completing tasks, making decisions, and achieving results accelerates actual performance. Visualization aligns mental readiness with physical action, ensuring consistent and confident execution of daily steps. Network amplifies the effects of bold action. Engaging with mentors, peers, and industry professionals exposes you to opportunities, strategies, and knowledge that accelerate progress. Boldly seeking guidance, pitching ideas, or collaborating opens doors that would remain closed to passive observers. Proactive engagement translates action into tangible advantages, expanding impact beyond personal effort alone. Financial knowledge informs bold action. Decisions grounded in understanding of markets, investments, and personal finance minimize unnecessary risk while maximizing potential returns. Education combined with decisive execution is a powerful combination. Informed risk-taking produces sustainable, accelerated growth. Ignorance may still allow boldness, but without knowledge, outcomes are unpredictable and often limited. Accountability reinforces daily action. Publicly committing to specific objectives, sharing progress with peers or mentors, and documenting achievements ensures follow-through. Awareness that actions are observed or measured strengthens motivation and reduces the temptation to delay or avoid decisions. Accountability transforms intention into tangible results. One practical habit is to identify one uncomfortable or challenging action each day and execute it fully. This might include negotiating a higher rate, making an investment, or launching a new revenue initiative. Confronting discomfort builds courage, expands capability, and accelerates the path to financial independence. Each act of boldness reinforces the belief that obstacles can be overcome and progress is possible. Financial independence requires alignment between action and long-term vision. Evaluate each step to ensure it contributes meaningfully to the desired outcome. Avoid superficial activity that creates the illusion of progress. Bold action means choosing work that matters, delivering measurable results, and consistently moving toward defined objectives. Purposeful execution is the differentiator between effort and achievement. Tracking progress sustains momentum. Record daily actions, outcomes, and insights. Review performance regularly to identify patterns, successes, and areas for improvement. Monitoring progress ensures accountability, reinforces habits, and maintains focus on impactful steps. RECEISE converts action into learning, accelerating mastery of effective wealth-building strategies. Embracing bold action transforms mindset. Fear of failure diminishes, decisiveness becomes habitual, and opportunity recognition improves. The combination of courage, preparation, and consistent execution strengthens both financial skill and personal discipline. Over time, taking bold steps daily becomes instinctive, and financial independence shifts from aspiration to reality. A real-life example highlights cumulative effect. An individual seeking freedom from a salaried job committed to one bold move each day, reaching out to clients, negotiating contracts, or learning new skills to increase market value. The initial actions were small and uncomfortable, but over months, they compounded into a profitable freelance business, diversified income streams, and the financial independence initially imagined. The key factor was consistent daily execution, not sudden windfalls or luck. Start immediately by defining one bold action for today that moves you closer to financial independence. Execute it fully, observe the outcome, and plan the next step. Repeat daily with discipline, reflection, and adjustment. The accumulation of these deliberate actions compounds into measurable results, transforming intention into tangible wealth. Bold daily action is the final link in the chain of wealth creation. Knowledge, visualization, resilience, and discipline all provide foundation, but execution produces results. Each courageous step taken consistently transforms ideas into reality, setbacks into lessons, and vision into measurable financial freedom. The journey to independence is built on hundreds of small, deliberate and bold actions taken without hesitation, producing a life where control, security and abundance are not just imagined, but actively achieved.